Hey everyone, and welcome to Quick Review, where I've decided to give Square Enix one more chance, despite the fact that all they've done lately is completely disappoint me. It was a mistake. Today, I'm going to take a look at Left Alive, which I'm giving a 3.3 out of 10. It was going to be a lot worse, but midway through the game, I had an epiphany. If you forget that this was supposed to be a stealth game and instead pretend that it's a third-person shooter, it's not that bad. It's still a below average third-person shooter, but it's not the worst game ever made. Basically, Left Alive dropped the ball when it comes to what you expect from a stealth-oriented game. It can't be a stealth-based game because there aren't really any stealth mechanics available. You have no way to take down enemies, as you would typically expect from a game that focuses on stealth. The stealthiest way I found to take down an enemy was to walk up behind someone and shoot them in the back with a shotgun. Don't ask me why, but it seems like it was one of the only ways to take someone out without alerting every single other person in the area. The same actually goes for grenades as well. If you throw a grenade at someone, they'll typically stand there as it explodes, and when they get up, they'll continue on their patrol. No one seems remotely suspicious that there was just a spontaneous explosion between their legs. From the guard's perspective, it almost seems like a daily occurrence to have the ground below them spontaneously catch on fire. Totally was not a Molotov cocktail. The AI in this game seems blissfully unaware of the world they inhabit, most of the time. Scattered throughout the world are areas that you can hide. Trash bins, toilets, lockers, all sorts of things. If you jump in one of them, guards will not see you. However, if you've alerted an area to your presence already, jumping in a hiding area is pretty much the only way to assure your demise. If someone sees you go in, they won't attack you. They'll call every other guard to surround you and then kill you, or try to anyways. It's possibly the only cool mechanic in the game, except if guards don't see you go into hiding, they'll just amass around the area, and as soon as you open the door, you're just back to running away. The gameplay is just immensely broken when it comes to trying to be stealthy. Let's talk about how this looks for a second. I played this on Ultra on my PC, and it looked absolutely horrific. It often felt like textures weren't loading in, but a lot of the time the textures were loading in, and they just looked so bad it felt like they weren't actually there. The world is bland, and you spend most of the game in one large-ish area. Since only parts of the world are related to any given mission, you can sometimes enter areas that are just completely empty, since they don't relate to what you're doing. This game also has a story. That was one of its selling points. One story, three perspectives, all intertwined. Except the stories were pretty much just one story with two subplots dropped in there. If the game only focused on the Leo, you'd wind up telling the same story with a little less fluff. Mikhail is a soldier that survives the war that's being fought. That's his story. He actually serves no purpose. Olga is a police officer who is ex-military. Her plot seems to end abruptly. From time to time, the characters run into each other as you play through the missions, but it barely feels like they tie together in any way. Additionally, the actual gameplay is exactly the same with all three characters. Swapping between people doesn't change the way the game feels. All it changes is the items available to you, as all items are character specific. There are also some side missions in every chapter. Literally every single side mission is the same. Guide a survivor to safety. That's it, rinse and repeat. They tie into the story in some way, but I let them all die, so I can't really tell you how. Lastly, there is the Wanzer combat. This was so poorly implemented and spread so sparsely across the game. Instead of having a tutorial, the game just throws a giant page of controls at you. except it leaves one bit out. And that is, how do you get out of the Wanzer? At one point, I got to a dead end seemingly steps from my objective, but I couldn't get there in my Wanzer. Turns out, the button to get out is the same one you use to get in, but nothing ever tells you that. The Wanzer controls feel clunky because you collide with everything. Up until the end, most Wanzer battles take place in narrow areas that are difficult to navigate. You get stuck. A lot. This could have been fun, but it really felt like an afterthought more than a core focus of the gameplay. Here are my 3 bits of advice for anyone that actually wants to play this game. 1. Forget that it's a stealth game. 2. Just run past everything. Run past every fight. Run to every waypoint. Nothing will hit you as long as you keep running and rolling. It's insane. 3. Get used to hearing this.
Caution, the enemy is approaching.
And that's left alive. I painstakingly played through this game, and I was rewarded with absolutely nothing. I think that you have to do a bunch of side quests to get a good ending, or at least a story that cohesively comes together, but since I ran past every single side quest, I'm pretty sure I got the absolute worst possible ending that I could have had. It's also possible that there's only one ending and it's horrible, but I honestly can't tell you. If you're itching for a stealth action game, go play Metal Gear Solid again. This is not a good game for you. Anyways, that's all I'm willing to say about Left Alive. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to waste any more of my time on this game. And remember, this is all just in my opinion. If you feel like I left something out, disagree, or just want to suggest another game for me to review, please, please, please leave a comment. If you like this review, there's no harm in subscribing. I might be able to save you from buying a really bad game in the future. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and check back weekly for more reviews.
Caution, the enemy is approaching. Caution, the enemy is approaching.
So